Welcome to the AI Queens podcast, the show where women entrepreneurs learn to ditch the overwhelm, embrace AI, and build businesses fit for royalty. I'm Erika Stanley, your host and tech expert, here to deliver tools, tips, and actionable strategies to help you scale smarter. Let's get to it. Hey, Queens, and welcome back to the AI Queens podcast, where we are building bold, vision-aligned businesses with the help of AI that actually fits how you work. I'm Erika Stanley, and today we're talking about something I see all the time. Business owners hesitant to use AI because they aren't sure how they can actually use it for their businesses, other than writing blog posts or Instagram captions. That's totally okay, and I totally get it. You're curious about using AI, maybe even a little excited, but you're not sure where to start or how to go beyond just dabbling. What if instead of treating AI like a one-off tool, you treated it like a real member of your team? Here's the thing. If you've ever voice noted to your VA, sent a half-baked text or a Slack to a teammate, or thrown random ideas at your brainstorming buddy, expecting them to help you turn it into something usable in return, well, you already know how to work with AI, you just didn't call it that. So let's reframe your hesitations and shift your mindset today. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through how to use 5 specific AI tools and how to shift your thinking from tinkering to treating AI like a legit team member. I'll share real examples from my business so you can see how this plays out day to day. All right, let's jump in and start with text-based AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or Perplexity. So here's the old mindset. If I didn't do the research myself, it's not real work. Your new mindset, this is your research assistant. So for a recent client project, I needed to pull together detailed info on home building codes and specs. I could have lost hours deep in city websites and regulatory PDFs, but instead, I dropped a bunch of questions into ChatGPT and Perplexity. And within minutes, I had a clear, organized summary with sources. I used that research to build a visual chart for his new website. All the heavy lifting was done. I still had full control over how I used the information that it gave me. So here's your mindset shift. This isn't about outsourcing your expertise. It's about freeing up your brain for strategy, storytelling, and creativity. This is the stuff that only you can do. Next up, we've got documents. Let's talk about those long, dense reports and how AI can help you scan like a CEO. So, old mindset. I need to read every word of this PDF to understand the full picture. New mindset. You're going to use Adobe Acrobat's AI assistant to be your document analyst. Now, recently I was reviewing a report from the World Economic Forum about AI and workforce trends. Super important, right? Also, it was about a zillion pages long. So instead of skimming it in a panic, I uploaded it to Adobe's AI assistant. It was able to pull key statistics, trends, and recommendations. I still reviewed what I needed, and I still was able to go back and reread the sections that really interested me. But I was able to approach it with much more focus and energy and only read the parts in depth that really applied to me. So here's your mindset shift. This is how executives operate. You are not slacking. You're filtering for relevance and focusing where your brain actually matters the most. Moving on, I want to talk about writing, specifically the part where you're second guessing every little phrase, sentence, and piece of punctuation. So old mindset, we're going to get rid of this. If I use AI tools, I must not be good at writing. Your new mindset, you're going to use Grammarly as your copy editor. Now, little confession, I love grammar. I used to be a grammar snob. I'm an Oxford comma stan. But over the years, my communication has gotten more voice notey, more spoken, more real. And that means that my grammar isn't always textbook perfect, especially now that I'm using more talk to text, my messy notes app, my voice memos where autocorrect goes rogue sometimes. That's where I am able to let AI help. I use Grammarly's AI or the Gemini built straight into my Gmail to help me clean up drafts, fix tone, flow, and even do a quick gut check before I send something out. I also make sure that I go back and finesse it and change little things to make it sound more like me. This is the mindset shift I want you to take. AI can help you polish and sound as professional on paper as you do on stage or in conversation. Not robotic, not over-edited, just refined. Okay, now moving away from writing, let's talk about visuals, where a lot of my clients get stuck. Old mindset that you're going to scrap. If I don't design this from scratch, it doesn't count. New mindset, folks. Tools like Midjourney, Canva AI, those are your junior designers. So recently I worked on a website for a brand new business. No photography, no visual assets, she didn't have anything. So I used AI to create custom graphics that matched her brand vibe. Then I brought in a professional photographer to shoot headshots and some lifestyle images. But here's the key. I art directed both of those. I was able to use my own creativity, my brand vision to shape what I needed from both the AI and the human involved. Now look, there's a ton of really powerful tools out there. Like Canva's new AI studio is absolutely amazing. If you haven't gone in and played with that yet, I encourage you to do so. Adobe also has a ton of amazing tools integrated. Not to mention Midjourney, Leonardo, the amazing visual tools just released within ChatGPT 4.0. You don't have to feel intimidated by these, and you don't have to feel like you're cheating. You can use them to bridge the gap between your vision and the final product. So here's your mindset shift. This is creative direction. You are still the visionary. You're just not doing it alone. All right, queens, last one. Let's talk about meetings. Old mindset. I need to take notes myself to stay on top of everything. Now we're going to scrap that. New mindset. Tools like Otter and Fathom, those are your meeting coordinators or your executive assistants. Now, I want you to imagine your best friend's kid is home from college for the summer and interning with you. She sits in on every Zoom meeting, takes notes, organizes them, and hands you a list of takeaways and action items. You'd never call that cheating, and you'd never feel bad about it. You'd think that's brilliant and helpful. That's exactly what these AI tools are going to do for you. During client calls, I'm able to focus entirely on listening, connecting, and guiding the conversation. I'm able to be fully present and give my clients my full creative brain rather than furiously typing out every single word that they say in the fear that I might miss some incredible insight. My AI assistant records everything. Then, after the meeting, I'm able to review the AI-generated notes in 5 minutes flat. Mindset shift. Your job is to lead, to advise, to be present, not to be a glorified stenographer. You're going to let AI handle that documentation and don't feel an ounce of guilt about it. Here's a recap of your new AI teammates if you choose to onboard them. First, you've got your research assistant who's going to tackle the grunt work of research so that you can lead on the strategy. Next up, you've got your document analyst. They're going to highlight what matters so that you can decode and decide faster what's important. You've also got your AI copy editor. They're going to support your voice and help you sound sharp and professional. You've got your junior designer. They're going to help you bring your creative vision to life. Finally, you've got your meeting coordinator, capturing the details while you bring the brilliance. None of these are hacks. These are legit roles that AI can now play in your business, and it's time to start treating them that way. You don't have to do it all alone. In fact, successful CEOs never do this shit alone. That's not how you scale. That's not how you lead. Delegating and note-taking during meetings, absolute lowest hanging fruit. If you're not outsourcing things like this, whether it's to a VA or to AI, you are holding yourself back. Trying to do everything yourself is keeping you small. Use these tools, use them strategically so that you can scale and grow. I want to end today's episode with a little feedback that I got from a friend and colleague of mine based on my previous episode, which was about ethics and bias in AI. She was particularly compelled to reach out to me because of the environmental impact. Now, we've all heard about the environmental impact of AI and how much water is used and how much energy is used and all of the big environmental implications that come along with using generative AI. She reached out to me via voice note, and I wanted to share with you her perspective. I think it's really important to continue this conversation from last week. Her thought was that it is falling on the consumer, us, to be aware and to weigh all of these considerations ourselves, when really the people who have created this technology have known all along that it was going to take more energy, that it was going to take more computing power. Why is the onus on us as the end consumer all the time? The example that she gave was that companies that create peanut butter, they put the peanut butter into a plastic peanut butter jar. In order for that jar to be recycled, we, as the end consumer, have to clean and scrub the peanut butter out of the jar in order for it to be recycled. And even then, the chances that that plastic is able to be recycled is so small based on where you live. Why is it not falling back onto the manufacturers to either create some type of compostable or, even glass, which is easier to clean out? The onus of that falls back on us as consumers, whereas it would be a easier thing for us as consumers, and it would make a bigger impact if the companies who are creating these things, who know that it's a problem, if they were coming up with the solutions themselves. I think that this is a bigger question and something important for us to consider as we're using AI. Yes, we can be mindful about when we use AI versus when we're just using regular Google, or to be mindful about the types of questions we're asking or the model that we're using. However, I think it's also fair to ask, at what point do we push back and ask the creators of this technology, hey, are there ways where we could be more resource efficient as we are training and improving and the usage of this technology is growing? So it was something that my friend brought up to me that I thought it was important to share with all of you. And I want to open this up. If you've got questions or comments on any of the information that I share in any of these podcast episodes, please feel free to reach out to me. Send me a voice note over DM. If you are a friend or know me personally, send me a quick text message. I love hearing feedback from all of you on what pieces of my podcasts or my posts within Substack are really resonating with you, what you have more questions about. Please feel free to reach out. I love these conversations and am open to discussing anything and everything having to do with AI. I'm in it, in the thick of it, all day, every day. And so hearing from you all what matters to you and what questions you have, gosh, it's so valuable to me to know what you're thinking and feeling and want to hear more about. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me. That's all I've got for you today. Catch you next week. And in the meantime, keep reigning with AI. Thanks for listening to the AI Queens podcast. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow queen who needs to hear this. Want more tips and tools? Join the AI Queens Society at aiqueenssociety.com and start ruling your business with confidence today. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and keep reigning with AI.